What is up? Hope you're doing well today. Welcome, it's Gary. This is where success and freedom live. Today we're going to talk about leadership. You know, there's so many different definitions of leadership and so many ways to look at it, but I think I found like the most amazing definition of leadership. I'm going to share that with you today. If you are new to my work, I would love to have you like, comment, subscribe. We'd certainly appreciate that. Love to get to know more about you. So let's talk about this. In fact, I'm probably going to go to the whiteboard here a little bit because I'm going to actually write this definition down as we get into it. And I'm often, I wouldn't say often, but I have been criticized from time to time for being a little overboard in my detail of how I do things. And I just made a video which the content was really applicable to anybody who is an entrepreneur, anybody who's dealing with clients of any kind, and it was to make the process frictionless for the client. So if you are a business, you are a salesperson, and you have a client, your goal should be able to make the process that they experience from the time they connect with you to finishing the purchase or whatever your service is, it should be frictionless. Well, if it's not frictionless and you're willing to admit that it's not frictionless, well, that means you've got to do some tweaking to change that. So the tweaking, if you have a group of people on your team who are not into tweaking things to make them better and frictionless for the client, then you are going to feel that you've got people who are complaining about every little detail. And if you don't pay attention to detail, your customers will go somewhere else where they do. So I think a lot of times when as a leader, you're wanting to pay attention to detail, more so for your customers, not because you're just being nitpicky, it's because that's the standard that you have raised yourself to, and if so, kudos to you. All right, so let's switch on over to the trusty whiteboard here, and let's get started. So what it is there was a gentleman who, he did a survey on thousands of people who are high peak performers. And he took all that information and he put it together to create a definition of leadership. And man, I tell you, I'm obsessed with this definition. It starts off with, this is not the part that I'm obsessed with yet, but great leaders rally people to a better future. So a leader has the ability to rally people to a better future. So it could be politicians, those who are successful are really good at that. Leaders such as Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, really good at that because they're talking about things like, we're going to go to the moon, something in the future, and they get people to believe that it's possible. So then leaders create what? Followers. And as long as they're, great leaders and they do the things additional to this that make them great leaders, they'll continue to have followers. This is the part I love. Here we go. Leaders are fascinated by the future. So if you're fascinated by the future as a leader, one thing or an ability that you have is the ability to have a vision. So you can't have a vision without looking at the future because the future is a vision, right? So when you have a vision about your company, a vision about your processes or your products, what happens is if you have people around you and you sell, if you will, or promote that vision correctly, they will see that future with you and they want to come on board. And this is something I'm always doing with my team. I'm always seeing the future with them. So I say things like, imagine now when this is 10 times bigger than what it is. And then I'll also say, while we're not 10 times as big, let's go do something to celebrate. So we're tasting the feeling of what it's like to keep growing and keep progressing as we keep working toward our goals and we make those future things happen in the present. But here's the other part. You are a leader if and only if, I like this part, and only if, let me write this down. You are restless about or for Restless for, that should be for. Restless for change. So you're open to change. Now, a lot of us, we get conditioned to stay where we're at, wherever that is, mentally, emotionally, whatever. And change sometimes can be a difficult thing. But it says here that you are a leader only if you are restless for change. I like this part, impatient for progress. So I remember, I'll never forget this. I remember over 30 years ago, I hired a publicist, and he said to me, Gary, why do you always seem to be in a rush? The reason being is I'm impatient for progress. I want to get moving faster. I want to get to the next level quicker. That's part of my nature. And I culture that nature. I nurture that nature, if you will. I'm okay with this. I want to stay this way because what it does, it keeps me energized. It keeps me looking toward the future. It keeps me having hope. It keeps me having purpose to do the necessary things to get to that progress in the future. But here's the part I like. I love this part. And not just satisfied, but deeply dissatisfied, excuse my crazy handwriting, dissatisfied with the status quo. Deeply dissatisfied with the status quo. So then, if you see the need to have your customers have a frictionless experience when it comes to them purchasing your product, purchasing your service, and you are deeply dissatisfied with the status quo, you are going to encourage yourself and your team to raise your standards. Wow, I love that. Not too long ago, this is twice in the last, I'm thinking 3 months, I had an air conditioner problem here at the house. After the gentleman was done with the air conditioner, he had to go through the garage to get things done. He left, 20 minutes later, I walk out to the garage and I look down, it's like, my goodness, did somebody just rob the place? He pulled things apart, moved things away from where he needed to go. He had to go in a specific corner, and he just started moving things away to get there. I'm cool with that. But guess what he didn't do? He didn't put it back. So the standards that he was taught are not very good. I had somebody come in and he fixed a faucet on the sink, and there's stuff like dust or pieces of the wood from where they replaced the sink or whatever in water all over the place. Status quo. So you're doing a good job as a leader if you are restless. Man, this is so good. If you are restless for change, you want to keep making change, you want to constantly keep improving, and you're impatient for progress. Oh, I'm bad about that. And deeply, not just dissatisfied, but deeply dissatisfied with the status quo. All right, there you have it. And if you would like to make sure you instill these type of standards and then take these type of standards and principles to dramatically change your business and increase the sales, make sure you join me on my next incredible web class. It's going to be in about a week from now. If you go to createbettercoachingchallenges.com, createbettercoachingexperiences.challenge.com. One more time, createbettercoachingexperiences.challenge.com. I'll put the link down below as well. Join me there, get a ticket, and we'll take this whole game plan to another level. This is what a true leader is about. Hope this applies to you. I'm out of here. Thanks for hanging with me today. Remember, what is another thing that great leaders do? They don't let what? Others rent space in their head. Have an awesome day. I'm out of here. We'll see you.